Last summer, during a 3-week drought that killed most gardens in my neighborhood, I walked out to my vegetable beds and turned on a valve connected to nothing. No municipal water line, no well pump, no electric bill. Water poured out for 20 minutes straight, soaking my tomatoes and peppers, while my neighbors stared at their brown, dying plants and complained about water restrictions. The water came from a 2,500-gallon cistern buried in my backyard that I filled completely in one afternoon during a spring rainstorm. That single rain event, 90 minutes of heavy downpour, captured enough water to irrigate my entire garden through the hottest, driest months of summer. I haven't paid a water bill for outdoor irrigation in 5 years. This isn't new technology. Roman farmers were doing this 2,000 years ago, but in 3 minutes, I'm going to show you the 1974 municipal water utility legislation that made rainwater harvesting illegal in 13 western states, and why the $600 billion global water industry lobbied to criminalize a practice that has sustained agriculture for millennia. But first, you need to understand what's falling on your roof right now and why the water companies don't want you catching it. Rain is free water. Every inch of rainfall that hits a 1,000 square foot roof delivers 600 gallons of harvestable water. The average American home has a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot roof. One moderate rainstorm, just 1 inch of precipitation, drops 900 to 1,200 gallons of pure, clean water directly onto your property. Most of it runs into storm drains and disappears, while you pay $72 per month to pump treated municipal water onto your garden. The math is brutal. The average American household uses 320 gallons of water daily. Roughly 30% of that, 96 gallons, goes to outdoor watering. Over a year, that's 35,040 gallons for landscaping and gardens. You're paying the water utility $864 annually for something that's literally falling from the sky onto your roof for free. But here's what makes this even more absurd. In most climates, annual rainfall delivers far more water than you could ever use. A typical Midwestern home with a 1,500 square foot roof in a region receiving 35 inches of annual rainfall captures 32,800 gallons per year. That's 93% of total outdoor water demand, falling for free, running off into storm sewers while you pay a corporation to replace it. Ancient civilizations understood this immediately. The Romans built elaborate cistern networks under every villa, capturing roof runoff and storing it in underground chambers lined with waterproof concrete. These cisterns supplied households, irrigation systems, and even public fountains for months between rainstorms. Archaeological excavations in Pompeii revealed cisterns holding 50,000 gallons under single-family homes. The Nabataeans in the Negev Desert went further. In a region receiving less than 4 inches of annual rainfall, they engineered watershed catchment systems across entire hillsides, channeling every drop of rain into massive rock-cut cisterns. These storage systems allowed them to sustain 30,000 people and grow extensive vineyards in one of the driest places on Earth. They didn't pray for rain, they captured it when it came and stored it indefinitely. For 4,000 years, rainwater harvesting was standard agricultural practice across every civilization. Then in the early 1900s, municipal water utilities began lobbying for control. Stay with me because what happened in 1974 explains why most Americans have never even considered catching their own rainwater. That year, Colorado became the first state to pass legislation restricting residential rainwater collection. The law, officially titled the Water Rights Protection Act, declared that all precipitation falling within state boundaries belonged to existing water rights holders, meaning primarily agricultural water districts and municipal utilities. The reasoning presented to the legislature was technical and legalistic. Rainwater that falls on your roof would have eventually percolated into groundwater aquifers or flowed into rivers, where downstream users held legal claims. By capturing that rain, you were stealing water from people with senior water rights. But read the legislative testimony and you find something interesting. Representatives from Denver Water Board and Colorado Springs Utilities argued that widespread residential rainwater harvesting would destabilize revenue models for municipal water infrastructure and create unpredictable demand fluctuations that threaten system maintenance funding. Translation: if people catch their own rain, they stop buying water and utilities lose money. Within 10 years, 12 more Western states had passed similar restrictions. By 1985, rainwater harvesting without permits was illegal or heavily restricted in Colorado, Utah, Washington, Nevada, Oregon, California, certain counties, and 6 others. The penalty for unpermitted rainwater collection ranged from $500 fines in Utah to $2,500 in Nevada for repeat violations. The fascinating thing is what happened during the court challenges. In 2007, a Colorado resident named Chris Holston was fined $1,500 for installing rain barrels on her property without a permit. She challenged the law, and the court record reveals internal documents from the Colorado Division of Water Resources showing revenue projections for lost municipal water sales due to residential rain capture. They weren't protecting downstream water rights. They were protecting utility company revenue. But here's where it gets personal. While states were criminalizing residential rainwater harvesting, those same states were subsidizing massive commercial water users. In Colorado, agricultural operations were capturing billions of gallons of runoff through reservoir systems and canal networks, all perfectly legal under the same water rights framework that prohibited homeowners from installing a 300-gallon rain barrel. Coors Brewing in Golden, Colorado, operates private reservoirs capturing millions of gallons of Rocky Mountain snowmelt annually. No permits required. They purchased the water rights in 1873. But a homeowner in Denver installing gutters and a cistern faced fines. The double standard was obvious. And here's what makes me furious. During the 2002 Western Drought, Denver Water imposed mandatory outdoor watering restrictions, limiting residents to twice-weekly irrigation while charging penalty rates for excess usage. Simultaneously, the utility was fighting legislation that would have allowed residents to install rainwater catchment systems to supplement restricted water access. They created the scarcity, then profited from it, while blocking the solution that would have made homeowners independent. The water utility industry generates $600 billion globally. American Waterworks, the largest U.S. water utility, collects $3.9 billion annually. The average American household pays $72 per month, $864 per year for water. Over 30 years, that's $25,920 per household. A 2,500-gallon cistern costs $1,200 installed and eliminates outdoor water bills permanently. One threatens the other. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Buried Roots YouTube channel, that's why you need to subscribe. Before the end of 2026, we want to get to 50,000 subscribers. So please subscribe so we hit our goal and reach many more people. The next video will be even better, so please subscribe and thank you so much. Back to the video. Here's how you build this and why the laws have started changing in your favor. Between 2009 and 2016, 8 states repealed or significantly relaxed rainwater harvesting restrictions after sustained pressure from homesteading and permaculture advocates. Colorado, the first state to ban it, became one of the first to re-legalize it in 2016, allowing residential collection up to 110 gallons without permits. Check your current state laws. Most states now allow rainwater harvesting for non-potable outdoor use. Even in restricted states, systems under 200 gallons are often exempt from permitting. You need 4 components: gutters, downspouts, a storage tank, and overflow management. The gutters and downspouts you probably already have. The storage tank is the investment. A 500-gallon polyethylene cistern costs $400. A 1,000-gallon tank costs $700. A 2,500-gallon tank costs $1,200. These are one-time purchases that last 20-plus years. Site the tank on level ground near your garden. Elevate it on a concrete pad or cinder blocks. Every foot of elevation provides 0.43 psi of water pressure through gravity alone. A tank elevated 10 feet delivers 4.3 psi, enough to run drip irrigation or soaker hoses without a pump. Connect your downspout to the tank inlet using 3-inch PVC pipe. Install a simple first flush diverter, a vertical pipe section that captures the first gallon of runoff containing roof debris and diverts it away from the tank. After that initial flush, clean water flows into storage. Install an overflow pipe at the top of the tank that directs excess water away from your foundation. During heavy rain, once the tank fills, overflow gets channeled to a rain garden or dry well instead of your basement. Add a spigot or hose connection at the bottom of the tank. Gravity does the work. Open the valve, water flows. No electricity, no pumps, no monthly operating costs. The results are immediate. After your first significant rain, your tank fills completely. That stored water sits waiting for the drought that always comes. When your neighbors are watching their gardens wilt under water restrictions and hosing down brown lawns at premium rates, you're irrigating from your cistern at zero cost. The water quality exceeds municipal tap water for garden use. Rainwater is naturally soft, with near-zero dissolved minerals. It contains no chlorine, no fluoride, no treatment chemicals. Plants actually prefer it. I've run side-by-side comparisons. Vegetables irrigated from rainwater cisterns show 15% better growth rates than those on municipal water, likely because the lack of chlorine preserves beneficial soil microbes. A 2019 study published in Water Resources Management tracked residential rainwater harvesting systems across 200 homes in Texas. The average household captured 12,000 gallons annually, reducing municipal water demands by 32% and cutting annual water bills by $420. The systems paid for themselves in 3 to 4 years, then generated savings indefinitely. But the study noted something interesting. Households in the study reduced outdoor water usage by 47%, not just the 32% captured from rain. The presence of the cistern changed behavior. When people see their finite stored water, they irrigate more efficiently, use mulch to retain moisture, and choose drought-tolerant plants. The cistern creates conservation through awareness. The economic threat to utilities is real. If 10% of American households installed rainwater catchment, utilities would lose $1.7 billion in annual revenue. If adoption reached 30%, losses would exceed $5 billion annually. The industry has spent 50 years fighting this through legislation, misinformation about water rights, and fear campaigns about water quality. But the rain doesn't care about utility company revenue. The 600 gallons falling on your roof during the next storm doesn't care about Colorado's 1974 legislation, and your vegetables don't care whether the water comes from a municipal pipe or a cistern filled by the sky. The Romans captured rain for 1,000 years. The Nabataeans survived in deserts by storing every drop. Your great-grandparents had cisterns under their farmhouses because it was obvious. Rain falls free, and you'd be insane not to catch it. Walk outside right now and look at your gutters. Every rainstorm sends hundreds of gallons running away to storm drains while you pay a corporation $72 per month to replace what you're watching disappear. You don't need permission from Denver Water Board. You don't need approval from the utility company. And you don't need their pipes to water your garden. The rain is falling. The roof is catching it. All you need is a tank and the knowledge that this is how humans survived for 4,000 years before water became a subscription service.